From the nation's capital in Monrovia, good evening, a pleasant welcome to news today. I'm Zach Sherman, the headline. For ruling insults on Liberia's cultural ambassador and traditional queen Julie Annie, traditional women demand open apology from political talk show host Henry Costa or face unspecified action. Bon County Representative Boyman Briggs Mensah frowns at the misuse of social media, challenges women to step forward. Presidential constituted assessed investigation, restitution and recovery team calls for the establishment of a code to fast-track corruption cases. Those people are packaged for you on this presentation. Keep watching. Those were headlines. Now the news in detail. Influx of women from 117 organizations today gather at the office of the Liberia Crusader for Peace to craft ideas for this year's Golden Image Award. The Liberian Golden Image Awards, according to Peace and Cultural Ambassador Judy Annie, was established since 9 years ago to spotlight and appreciate individuals who have significantly impacted their respective societies. Speaking Tuesday at the Golden Image Awards 2019 Women's Forum, Ambassador Judy Annie said the program is also designed to put Liberia on the map of influencing people of distinction, including from the ground, and that's the lower ground and the upper levels, to continue their sojourn.
In the Quran and in the Holy Scripture, you must respect authority. And when you respect authority, then you have grace. When you are disrespectful to authority, God take that grace from you and say, I will overturn and overturn and overturn.
Yes, that's the word.
So grace.
Yes, the word.
And when my grace is prevenient, I don't care. So we must respect authority. When you respect authority, authority in a country is next to God. Because they can write your death warrant and sign it in a twink of an eye. They can arrest you any day if they like. Because the police got a lot of charges they can put on you until you get a lawyer to free you. Every day we take, but we don't give back. It is not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So I've come to say Golden Image Awards should award people that have worked in their communities, villages, and towns, to say a thank you to them. People who have worked and they have gone unnoticed. People who people don't recognize them because they're not connected. People don't know them because they're not connected. But these people have done well. So Golden Image is there to support those who their work go unnoticed.
Bon County District 6 representative has blamed social media users negatively imaging the country for the less influx of investment in Liberia. According to Representative Boyman Briggs Mensah, this signals bad character of the country, thus scaring away investments. Something she noted is contrary to the reality. She at the same time warned Liberians in the diaspora who are constantly involved in such behavior to desist if the country must taste the beauty of development and investment.
We got people today, they are Facebook fame. They sit there and talk and they don't know that we're eating dry rice here. They sit there and talk and they don't know if they're talking and stopping donors from coming. They sit there and talk and they don't know if they're stopping and stopping investors from coming. around. She was willing to come. We even donors were thinking if the funding will be managed well. How many of us want to come? But you know why? We as women, for us to be great as we've been in Liberia, bringing forth the first female president, and today having the first female vice president, we can make it. Passing the domestic violence bill, since 2014, that have been languishing around and getting there in the upper house and walking behind it and making sure it will be passed into bill. We can make it in politics. We must change the dimension because the generation of this country depend on us. As women in leadership, we must open our minds. And in doing that, we must accept challenges. We must make a choice that we will be leaders that will be remembered tomorrow. And we must make a change that we will be recognized and remembered in history. In doing that, Liberia will go forward because the progress of the nation depends on women.
At the same time, scores of traditional women have given a one-week ultimatum to political talk show host Henry Costa to apologize for utterances made against traditional Queen Julie Annie. Costa, on the 15th day of July edition of this show, branded the Liberian cultural ambassador as a con who lacks moral compass for reasons stipulated by him. The refusal of Mr. Costa to apologize, according to the traditional women, will have them with no option but to initiate unspecified action against him. They spoke at the 2019 Golden Image Award Women Forum.
Today, Ghana singer in Refa. They forum will be doing it at the Namo. I think they interview me generously. But let me ask you, Lawmaker, you're being out to the our culture. We never even sound paper yet. Then your people acting like that to us, our traditional queen. When of course one woman in the power in the ground are all the women. So let me make you to understand the Dana queen a cause that the traditional people a cause. I want the team on Risto Pape join we out. Because next time different one will come we don't want it. Traditional people, we now somebody who can arrive to go on the streets, but never delete. I want you to advise Pastor. This must be the first and the last angle of going there or bar. You will not cause our queen again. When not do it, when we tell you okay, when we as my sisters I say, when you're not the action to call out to apologize to all, in a person now a outing, we will go back to our land. Women will rise. Is it so? Yes. We will rise against the abuses of women. Yes. We will rise against the injustice. Somebody, woman like this woman, that believe in bearing the capacity of the commoner, and we will have to be at the 10 of 8. Every woman all go asleep. Because everything that she's looking for, it is for the people that don't know their way through. It is the people that are not benefiting. She makes sure she educates you, she made you to be part of things so that you can benefit. There are many women here in the forum, they condemn it, that they are first time coming on. So please, let us be defending in our traditional queen, our peace ambassador, our role model, the woman that make it happy when she didn't get it, she bought her property to make it happy. So women, I ask you to pray for this woman. I ask you to stand by her. We gave her 1 week, if you're not take action, we'll take action.
Let's now bring you Henry Costa, who on Monday vowed to vigorously attack Ambassador Julie Andy.
Because we announced the protest to happen on July 24th, again, we just want to call the president's attention to our demands. And we're very clear about that. We want the president to deliver on our demands. We're not presenting another petition. We've already presented our petition to the president. And Julie Andy and Pisota, Fidel City, last weekend. So we announced the protest date. Oh, the issue statement that this year, the Independence Day celebration will be honoring Liberian women. Today, only the woman they're calling. Women and work and pay the train school fee, they catching hell. Now you're the one they want honor. They want to celebrate y'all. Celebrate the Liberian women, their successes. Oh, What about their struggles and their pains and their misery? Watching their children being kicked out of school or not being able to go to school because they ain't got money. Because we say one announce protest, so they think when they say this year's independence will be there to honor and celebrate Liberian women, then we'll say, but man, we gotta be careful. You know, we want the Liberian women to turn against us. But let me tell you something, that joke can't work. It can't hold. We will stay protest, and women, so women will call today. Just the way you say that the women will head the Independence Day celebration, they hear that how the women will head our protest. And I will do it, we'll know who will bring more women. Julie Andy, the woman I just gone. The woman is a fraud, she's a sellout, she has no moral compass. I mean, feel that the woman would just use anything to exploit. You see us sitting there with all hand with a plenty gold ring there, plenty gold bang on there, all hand, sitting there tumble. We're here to celebrate Liberian women. Does Julie Andy look like she representing Liberian women? That surface woman, every government that come to power, Julie Andy friendly with them. Taylor was here, Julie Andy was friendly with Taylor. The mayor cultural ambassador on a Taylor time. Ellen King, Julie Andy was friendly with her. She got what golden image award. You not see Julie Andy get golden image award to the women in the market? Julie Andy is a call artist, she's a sellout, she's a fraud, and that's what she is, and she wants to exploit Liberian women, and now the gloves are off. I will attack the woman viciously now. I will expose Julie Andy for what she is.
Montserrat County District 4 representative has defined as complete witch hunt the alleged denial of Representative Yeke Kolba family to travel out of the country. The government through the Ministry of Information has since distanced itself from the claim, stating that immigration officers acted in keeping with the anti-human trafficking regulations. In an interview with our staff, Amos Konzaul, Swakoko Dennis condemned and described the act as unbecoming on the part of the government.
The issue I got from there that drew my attention to have to speak to the Liberian people, to speak to the press, is that I think the government is becoming unbecoming when it comes to this Kolba issue. And I personally feel that his wife, her rights were violated, and especially those innocent babies. And I do not want what we do up here at the capital, our critical stance that we take, that will have that negative impact on the children. And I was very pathetic to see that the children who are not involved with any critical stance in government, they have been treated for witch hunt that I tell me on the fathers. My point, and I want us to analyze it in our various media outlets and see if it makes sense. Granted, the government used her power to prevent child trafficking. Why give the children back to the would-be trafficker? Where are the children? Had government taken the children and putting them in government custody to verify as to whether these children, they are Onrokoluba children or they are the children of Onrokoluba's wife? Then it makes more sense. Then we will not only be critical on the government, but we'll talk to our colleagues and say that is the procedure, that is the way forward. But if you will take their passport on grounds that you want to protect them, that their mother could be trafficking the children or with all the consent of the father, why give the children back to the would-be or the suspected trafficker? So I think I want to condemn that. It's an act of witch hunt.
If you're just joining us, this is a reminder that you are watching news today only on KMTV. Have an hour news presentation brought to you from the News and Current Event Department of Creative Minds Television with Central Studio in Monrovia. I am Zach Sherman presenting the stories we're following. Foreign insults on Liberia's cultural ambassador and traditional queen, Julie Andy. Traditional women demand open apology from political talk show host Henry Costa or face unspecified action. Bon County Representative Wyman Briggs Mensah frowns at the misuse of social media, challenges women to step forward. Presidential Constituted Asset Investigation, Restitution and Recovery team calls for the establishment of a court to fast-track corruption-related cases. Keep watching. We're taking a short break. To be right back. Thanks, for rejoining us. This is News Today with me, Zach Sherman. Special Presidential Committee has revealed plans to prosecute and retrieve money allegedly stolen by past officials of government. The Asset Investigation, Restitution and Recovery Team revealed or headed by Liberia's Solicitor General, Consider Serenius Sivas, during a hearing said there will be no witch hunt in the process. Consider Sivas and team members appeared before the House's Judicial Committee on Monday to provide update on the level of work done so far by his team.
Our strategic plan, the first is to review and analyze all audit reports and subsequently categorize all auditees into groups. The exercise will determine the gravity of the discrepancy, whether same was deliberately committed to defraud the Liberian government of needed revenues, which will form the basis for possible indictment or criminal prosecution, or whether it was inadvertently committed and the economic injury sustained therefrom is not egregious enough to suggest criminality. That one approach. The auditees are then listed as persons of interest or institution of interest, and there will be formally extended letters of invitation to appear before the Asset Investigation, Restitution and Recovery Team, ARET, to respond to specific questions arising out of the audits. There will be no question, be no witch hunt. Every question that will be asked during the process of review and analyzation will be based on what the audit has found. As we speak, letters are being sent out. You will not hear about that. Today, at the end of the day, when the letters are distributed, the official spokesman of the team, who happens to be Councillor Gu, when they say ARET has started to work and distributed letters to persons of interest here and there, that will be done. Because some of the people that will be appearing, we want to do so in confidence, and they want to make restitution without being, exposed. So that's the procedure. So if we find, after the investigation and review process, and they find out that it's an indictable offense, you'll be given the opportunity whether you want to make restitution or you want to go for prosecution.
Councillor Sivas has also used the occasion to recommend the institution of a fast-track corruption code that will expeditiously handle corruption cases in a timely manner.
We have in our possession, as we speak, Mr. Chair, a quantum of recycled checks that are being reviewed over a period of 10 years, where individuals at the Ministry of Finance in the last administration were doing recycled checks, for example, for checks in Liberian dollar, they were simultaneously issuing the same checks in United States dollar. So if, for instance, you were to get 400,000 Liberian dollar, they will face that same 400,000 in US dollar. Those checks will be local. And certain individuals were involved. But that still requires some level of clearinghouse to deal with that. What we got, simply a quantum of evidence, but the people involved need to be confronted. So, apart from the GSC report, apart from the Special Presidential Task Force report, which is so credible, we also want to look at the issue of recycled checks at the Ministry of Finance over the last 10 years. One of the things that we also started to work on, Arthur Johnson and I, is that when we were in Europe, we're also thinking about the issue of working with the committee and other institutions at the Liberian legislature to see about the creation of a fast-track code we call Criminal Code F, which would be the corruption code. Because the 1956 code contains so many bottlenecks, so many hurdles. For example, Mr. Chair, this is not an attack on our system, but this is for our own education. Somebody is accused of stealing, for instance, 2.6 billion Liberian dollar. When you convert it, it's about $16 million. The person is only required to post $60,000 bail bond, criminal appearance, but this is absolutely ludicrous. It's ludicrous. So you can see, but that is the law, and we have to live with it. That's the problem we're talking about. But in this fight, we're taking it at a new level, never seen before.
Chairman on Judiciary at the House of Representatives, Councillor Fananti Kofa, has endorsed the call for the establishment of an exclusive court to enable government fight against the menace, noting that said process should be holistic. His statement was flanked by Representative Rostalin Swako-Dennis, who also called on the team to look into the infusion of the 25 million into the Liberian economy.
We support the fight, the responsible and competent fight against corruption. What you heard here today were several concerns. Number one, we want to make sure that there is no witch hunt, that there's an ongoing corruption of past and current investigation across all branches of government and in a professional way that you have described. And as long as you do that, I think you will find a willing committee that will fight with Honorable Kofi Adem to make sure your $2.1 million is secured in your budget to fight your corruption. I'm concerned that there appears not to be a coordination between you and the LACC. We are going to invite the LACC next week to see what is their role in the war on corruption and what is their view. To the extent that we have legislative powers that can manage to cure whatever the tension is, creative or otherwise, and then also bring to vote quickly the issue of this corruption code, so that this issue we can finally nail it down in our country to where we proceed in a manner in which it is indeed the institutions of government are deterrent. We admire the fight. We think the fight began some while back. We think you have raised it to a level that we appreciate, and we will continue to stay seized of this matter.
I would be happy to see this body functioning. Firstly, to begin with the 25 million. I was on Dennis. I said, and I believe, it is robbery in broad daylight. And the reason that I said that is that even in the house, we have not been allowed to openly attack that 25 million. And I said, if you check the 25 million, it's in link with the 16 billion. So if this arm can do that justice for the Liberian people and for us, because what is it? The core international expert came and we still had documentation for which we missed that opportunity to give us transparency for the 25 million. The presidential team, PRT, right? They still have sticker issue in having evidence for the 25 million. So if you want us to believe you, you start and I will support you every day. As long as I got life and breath, I'm willing to fight and do something for corruption. But if you cannot start with the 25 million, as Chairman said, there are already corruption going on.
And a Liberian educator, Howard Blaman, has underscored the need for national government to add value to early childhood education. This, according to her, will help to give the future youths of the country a solid foundation to confront challenges ahead. Madam Blaman told Amos Konzawa of our staff that her organization has already embarked on said journey to help children, but appeal to national government to step in.
We want to see that the government have more incentives on early childhood education because it's where the foundation is built. If we cannot build the foundation, we see that the mass failure of why will always come up because while the foundation is not solid. We need to invest more in early childhood education. We are involved with children, especially children from the age of 2 to 9 years old, helping them to grow and learning in the environment that they will learn a better thing, because from that age is where the foundation is built from. We want to see that the foundation is solid, and we want to invest more into them because we found out that investing into them, it builds out more intelligent people in the society, more good people in the society. We're working from 2 years old all the way to 8 years old, from the beginning stage, the toddler stage, where they're learning how to talk, how to touch, how to feel, how to think. It's what we are investing in right now.
And how do the program look like?
Okay, the program is all about reading and Playing is what matter.
Okay.
Playing is not just all the child can play. Playing, while playing the learning. We teach them the basic skill of math, reading, spelling.
With that, folks, that's how we cut down the curtains of news today only on KMTV. But before we go home, here once again the headline. Foreign insults on Liberia's cultural ambassador and traditional queen, Judy Eddy. Traditional women demand open apology from political talk show host Henry Costa or face unspecified action. Bon County Representative Mohamed Briggs Mensah frowns at the misuse of social media, challenges women to step forward. Presidential Constituted Asset Investigation, Restitution and Recovery team calls for the establishment of a court to fast-track corruption-related cases. I know, folks, we want to say thanks for your viewing pleasure. Once again, I'm Zach Sherman, belling you a pleasant Tuesday evening.